welcome to Two Geeks and a Load Balancer with Nathan and
Chris. How's everyone doing?
good. This next question around Kubernetes, the question of what is AKO?
Yeah, best question you've had so far. AKO is the Avi Kubernetes Operator, which, as you can tell from the name, is a Kubernetes operator that comes from Avi. But what does it do? What does it do? No, I've lost my thought track. What does it do? What it basically does is it converts Kubernetes APIs into Avi. So when a developer, basically it sits in your cluster, it's listening to Kube API. When a developer pushes in an ingress or a service type load balancer or a gateway API, basically it understands that, it realizes that, and it sends a communication API call off to the Avi controller. The Avi controller understands what's happening. It builds a virtual service, and it basically tells the service engine what to do. So fundamentally, think of it as a translating tool between Kubernetes and Avi. That's pretty much what it does.
Take a pause, take a step back to make sure I get this right. So you have Kubernetes, it's a walled garden. Inside of that is all this machinery doing all of its stuff.
Yep.
We need to be able to provide load balancing into Kubernetes. So we have a load balancer that's sitting outside of Kubernetes providing that service. However, it's outside of Kubernetes.
Yep.
It doesn't know when a new application came online. It doesn't know when something changed.
Yep.
It doesn't know that. So how can it go? So instead we have this little spy that sits inside of Kubernetes, runs on a pod, listens on the messaging bus, sends a call out to the load balancer that's outside of Kubernetes saying, hey, this new app came online. It's running here, here, and there, and it's doing this, this, and that.
Yeah, exactly.
Then why didn't you say that?
Next time I will. I actually think I said it better, but we'll agree to disagree.
All right, but that's right, because the load balancer outside of Kubernetes doesn't know what's happening inside. So we need to be
exactly. He's like the well, okay, I won't say he, but like it's the thing that knows what's going on inside, and it tells us what's going on.
That's your technical answer. It's the thing that
it's the thing.
Got it. Avi Kubernetes Operator. It's just a little shim. That runs as a pod inside of Kubernetes.
Yep.
Outside, and then an extension of that, we have an AMKO.
Yes, we do. So AKO is deployed into each cluster. It's a Helm installed, and it's listening to the individual Kube APIs for each individual clusters, and it's building ingress, service type load balancers, things of that nature. But what if we want to have multi-cluster ingress, for example? Maybe we have applications running in 2 clusters. We want to do active standby. We want to do active. We want to do traffic waiting across clusters, things of that nature. So we have another really well-named operator called the Avi Multi-Cluster Operator. And no prizes for guessing what it does, but basically what it does is it ties those AKOs that are in each of those clusters, it ties them together. And, Avi, always remember, like from an Avi perspective, we're enterprise grade load balancer. We do GSLB, we do WAF, we do all of those things that ADCs do, right? And so what we're doing with AMKO is we're bringing the full power of GSLB to Kubernetes, and we're, stretching, then you can deploy app A in cluster A, app A in cluster B, bring them together. I can do traffic routing, I can do HA, I can do DR, I can do all of those things that I would typically do with GSLB. I can do them to Kubernetes as well.
Okay. So it's same kind of a concept. It's just it's now stitching together multiple AKOs.
Correct.
And then it's tying that across Avi's controller and or multiple Avi deployments.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. And then providing that high availability across data centers as well, tying that into DNS.
And it's an interesting tool because I've seen customers using it for obviously that cross data center, cross country load balancing, right? But then I've also seen people use it in the same data center just to do sort of A/B based traffic weighting or things of that nature. So it can give you redundancy within the data center. It can, you can go migrate from one cluster to another cluster. You can do all of that type of thing with GSLB, and so it gives you a lot of power and a lot of capability to do.
Yeah, it makes sense. Normally we think of GSLB, global server, global site load data center, but it has other use cases as well.
Yeah, it does.
Here as well in the Kubernetes world.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
No problem.